This NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? We got news for you tonight, and I'm pretty sure you already heard, you already know, but Jeremy Sochan is on his way to Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. He's on his way to Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks, according to sources around the league, but we'll stick with my guy Ian Begley, my most trusted guy. You know what I mean? Says Jeremy Sochan will sign with the Knicks for the rest of the season. The deal is on a vet minimum, league sources said. So Tony, my brother, what's popping? Sure. How do you feel about this signing? What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, he was one of the guys on my list when I was thinking about who we're going to trade Yabusele for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And, the word is the Knicks had talks with the Spurs. They tried to trade for Sochan.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Spurs didn't like the fact that Yabusele had that second year. And that was somewhat of the sticking point. He ends up going to the Bulls, waiving that second year based on the fact that he'll get more playing time in a defined role, where the Spurs, he might not have been willing to waive that second year,
right? Because
if he wasn't going to get a defined role,
right.
So it's nice to know that the Knicks, this was a target of theirs,
mm-hmm.
and they end up with him. Like I was saying off chat, offline. Basically, we traded Yabusele for Sochan and Alvarado, and that's big.
Basically,
you know what I mean.
That's basically what we did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's basically what we did. How do you see him fitting into the Knicks lineup, into the Knicks rotation?
Well, when I think of him, he's the defensive versatility, right? Like that's like the first thing that comes to mind
mm-hmm.
when I think about him, and I think that's what he can do for the team. He gives us a bunch of different options that we could run him with,
right.
Versatile. You know what I mean? So now the Knicks could be a more versatile defensive team.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think he's we'll see if he's going to be a key piece, but he was definitely a piece that the Knicks needed, right? Another defensive wing. We've been calling for it all season long, another defensive wing. I think on top of that, he also adds a defensive spark, right? He adds toughness, a little grittiness. You know what I mean? He's that guy. He's that guy that doesn't have a lot of offensive talent, but he can get down and dirty on the defensive side, defend a couple of different positions, etc. And I think that's something that the Knicks needed. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I think that's something the Knicks needed, right? And he adds that piece. The Knicks can now throw a defensive lineup out there on the floor, like a real defensive lineup. If you wanted to go with Spark Alvarado, Deuce McBride, Jeremy Sochan, Landry Shamet, Mitchell Robinson, right? Like, and that could very well be the second unit now. And then you still got Kumo D on the bench, and you got Jordan Clarkson on the bench, and you got Tyler Kolek, guys that have proven themselves to be able to be productive, right? But that's a defensive squad right there that can still score the ball some. You know what I mean? And then, of course, he can play some with the starters, as you mix and match lineups. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. The question is going to be, because we were talking about it earlier before we got on air, Mike Brown likes Mo Diawara. We all like Mo. He's shooting 41% from the three-point line. He's not the defender that Sochan is, because he hasn't been in the league that long. But he's got the defensive tools. Now, is he going to complain? No, he's not going to complain. But does Mike Brown want to sacrifice his minutes? That's going to be the question. Does he want to sacrifice his minutes, or does he want to see more of what he has in Mo? I think you're still going to have the chance because Deuce will be out. So if Deuce is out, which he will be, that second unit can be Spark, Shamit, Sochan, Mo, and Mitch. Right? So, that's a second unit that you can throw out there on the floor that has a little bit more length, because Sochan is 6'8". Mo is what? 6'8", 6'9"?
6'9", 6'10".
6'9", 6'10", right? And then you got Mitch, Shamit. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have, three guys from 6'8" to 7 foot on the floor in that second unit, and then you have your smaller guards, and even Shamit's 6'5", right? Spark could be 6 foot, but he's a dog though. You know what I'm saying? 6 foot, but he's a dog.
I know we came up with Spark last night, right?
Spark, yes sir.
I was telling Shadow, shout out to DJ Shadow, I was telling him he's the little enforcer. You know what I mean? So that's what I was calling him. But my question is, and what I'm wondering about Sochan is, does he have a little bit of that in him? The enforcer, you know what I mean? Something we're sorely lacking with size, you know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, Alvarado, he bring that grit at 6 foot. You know what I mean? He might be the guy that, I don't want to say got screws loose, but you know what I mean? He might be the guy that just be willing to go out there on a limb.
Yeah.
More than some other guys that we got on that team.
Maybe, yeah.
And that might be a useful role in itself.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? And this is the perfect time to pick him up. Right? You got, a week off, a week break. Right? So,
practice.
You got practices. You know what I'm saying? You can get guys in. You can get them in. You can learn the system. Get some practices in. Perfect time for him to join the team. I wouldn't be surprised if when we came back, we see him immediately out. I mean, we've seen it with Spark. And I'm sure there's people listening like, who the hell is Spark? Talk about Jose Alvarado. He's a Spark plug. So Spark Alvarado, that's his NBK Comics name. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have one coming soon. Spark Alvarado, get used to it, because I'm gonna call him Spark. But he came right in 25 minutes a game. I wouldn't be surprised if Sochan came right in and played. I mean, the Knicks obviously wanted him, right? They wanted him probably before they wanted Alvarado. So he's a guy that the Knicks coveted. Either Leon or Mike Brown coveted Sochan. So I can't see a reason why he wouldn't play. Can't see a reason why he wouldn't.
Pardon me, son, but we coveted him, and then he chose us.
And then he chose us.
I mean, because the reports was 10, upward of 10 teams interested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he chose us. Whether even if the other 9 was bottom feeders or whatever, like for whatever reason, he chose us.
Yeah. So you had to figure. My bad.
Yeah, he's gonna get time.
Right. So you had to figure. You had to figure that he knew he was gonna get some time. You know what I mean? Let's take a listen to Ian Begley as he kind of breaks down the move and how, you know what I mean, he feels about the move. Ian Begley. Let's check it out.
Knicks taking care of a little business ahead of All-Star Weekend, signing Jeremy Sochan, player who was released by San Antonio, a 22-year-old with what the Knicks see as defensive versatility, upside, player who can handle the ball. And this is a significant addition for New York because this was a player that the Knicks targeted at the trade deadline. They had some conversations with San Antonio about Gershon Yabusele, Sochan deal. I don't think those talks got very far. But now here you pivot a few days later, Knicks able to bring Sochan in on a veterans minimum deal for the rest of the season. And really, you go back to Yabusele in terms of how they got here because Gershon Yabusele chose to waive that second-year player option. That's what facilitated the deal to Chicago. And then Dalen Terry, the player that the Knicks were able to get back, they sent to New Orleans. That helped facilitate the deal to get Jose Alvarado. And in these deals, they were able to shed some salary in both of these trades. And they were able to shed enough salary to the point where they could add a player at Sochan's number off of the waiver wire. And so this was a tidy piece of business for the Knicks, essentially getting Jose Alvarado and Jeremy Sochan at the deadline with all the maneuvering they did around the margins, particularly with in Sochan's case. And they feel like now they have 15 players under standard NBA contracts that they feel comfortable playing. And that's big to me, at least, because, you know, you're going to deal with injuries, minor injuries, tweaks, whatever, over the course of the rest of this season and also maybe postseason. And so you want players who you feel comfortable with, confident in putting them on the floor. And the Knicks believe, according to sources, that they have that now that they've added Sochan. It's going to be interesting to see where he fits into Mike Brown's rotation. I assume if everybody's healthy that he would be out of the rotation, but we'll see. I mean, again, a lot of teams had interest in Sochan. He came to New York for a reason. So I would assume that, you know, he's not going to just ride the bench for the rest of the year. Interesting pickup for New York. Again, getting a player in Sochan that they feel comfortable throwing out there on the court in circumstances that would welcome it, that would necessitate it. So nice pickup for New York, ending their trade deadline with a 22-year-old, again, defensive versatility, upside as they head into this All-Star break, and they will get back on the floor next Thursday against the Detroit Pistons at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Makes sense to me. You know, we'll see how it all pans out with Sochan. We'll see how it pans out. I think it's a very good move, though. You know, I think it's a very good move. Donald Cannon, thank you for the super chat. He says, Sim, I really loved that we have players that will finally stand up versus sitting down. I was tired of being a laughing stock. We got some enforcers now. Yeah, that's without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? We got some guys that are willing to stand up and go to bat for their guys. You know, we needed some guys like that. We needed some guys that maybe don't have it all together upstairs. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I don't mean this in no disrespectful way, but you don't want your best guys kind of getting in the scuffles and things of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now we got some guys that are expendable in the sense where, you know what I mean? They could take the fine, and we got guys on the team that make enough to pay the fine for it.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And you know, we just didn't have it on this team. We traded those guys away. We didn't have it, but now we picked up role players that can be that, and I think that's the key. We picked up role players that can do it. You know what I'm saying? And Leon Rose has always he's always added high character guys to the team. You know what I mean? Always. So I have no doubts in my mind that he's a high character guy. You know, I mean, obviously we know of him, and I know of him from watching him, but, you know, we don't watch every day and get all the storylines. But I'm positive he's a high character guy. You know what I mean?
Two things. That Ian Begley clip You hear him talk. You hear that word again, right? I gotta do
The
this show
margins.
eventually.
The margins.
You heard it?
So the margins.
Yeah, you
the
hear that
margins.
word
Yeah,
again.
the margins. On the
You know what I
margins,
mean?
baby.
And
Doing it on the margins.
what's the over under? What's the betting odds on Sohan's hair color, orange or blue?
That would be fire though. Orange and blue. Orange and blue. Why not? Orange and blue. You know what I mean? Orange with blue highlights, blue with orange highlights, something like that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that is funny, you know what I'm saying, which also tells me that, just going back to, with Tom Thibodeau, maybe there was something else just going on between Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau and the team. Because guys that are being added to this basketball team are guys that Tom Thibodeau would have wanted.
Yeah.
Right? He would have wanted both of these guys. Small, feisty guards is what Tom Thibodeau loves. We know that.
I mean, we talked about it in the off season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before these two additions, you know what I mean? We talked about it in the off season, just
right.
like, oh, now you want to bring me some, you know what I mean? Bring me some help.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So there had to be something else somewhere. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't bringing the wrong type of, he wasn't saying to go out and get the wrong type of guys. He was obviously saying to get the right type of guys because they're bringing in those same kind of guys. So something else was happening there. Not to go back to it, but just something more. I guess disagreements in how to approach the team. But, these are the same type of guys. And, we lost a lot of what we missed when we brought back a lot of what we were missing, if not all of what we were missing when we traded away Randall and we traded away DiVincenzo. Just, that feistiness, that toughness, you know what I'm saying? Randall was sometimes a loose cannon, you know what I mean? And you need a little bit of that so you can have a little bit of edge. But we brought that back, but in a better way this time. Mm-hmm. Because Randall is one of your key guys, and so you don't want him
exactly
doing that. So was DiVincenzo one of your key guys.
Exactly.
Now we brought back guys that got a little bit of edge to them, but they're role players. And you've already proven that you can win without them. So you're going to be better with them, that they have that. These are glue guys, right? Glue guys that glue the team together. So 2 very nice moves, I think, from the Knicks. Very nice moves. What's the chances that he stays with the Knicks after this season? Do you think?
It's right now it's tough, bro. It's tough. We don't know what's going on with Mitch. We don't know what's going on with Diawara.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got some in-house things that we got to take care of.
Word. That's the truth.
We win it all. James Dolan might say, I don't care how much it costs. Bring everybody back.
Right. But there's a cap. You know what I'm saying? So they got to figure that out.
I trust our capologists to
figure it out.
Figure out how to work in the margins.
Yeah. How to work it. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I like having X factors like this on the team. These are true X factors to me. You know what I'm saying? Guys that, these are X factor guys. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's going to be in a rotation. I don't know. Unless he just wanted to be on a team that will, that was a contender, right? And everybody else that wanted his services, maybe weren't contenders. He's like, no, they're a contender. But I would think that his agent and the Knicks had a conversation about playing time, had a conversation about his role and all of that. And so that made, they made a decision like, yeah, this is the way to go.
The only thing I'll say to that is, like, I guess there's an argument that I'm wrong in what I'm about to say, but there's an argument that he was on a contender.
Well, he was, but he wasn't playing. Right. He was on a contender. He was right.
So
exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So
yeah,
if you're gonna go to another one, I would think there's some caveat there.
Right. If I'm exactly, it's got to be. If I'm gonna go to another, I can stay here and sit on the bench. So if I'm gonna go to another contender, I want to play. So I would think he's gonna.
Or if those other teams weren't contenders, like Yabusele decided, hey, I don't care about that second year if you're gonna play me.
You're gonna play me,
and I'm gonna have an opportunity
Right.
to showcase myself.
Right.
So I'm sure that opportunity was out there for Sochan
Right.
somewhere.
Right. You brought this up to me earlier, so I want to ask you though: does it make you worry about OG?
Yes. A small part of me, and that's like the PTSD of being a Knicks fan, because they don't be forthcoming
Yeah.
with injuries and what's going on with players. How many games did Deuce miss before it was revealed, hey, he's gonna miss pretty much the rest of the regular
Right.
season.
And
You know what I mean? And
I was
so
just gonna.
that is what worries me for sure.
And I was
OG's history. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
he's
and
been
his
on
history.
a good stretch of, you know what I mean, only missing a couple games, but
Exactly.
and us seeing why he's missing these games for the
Right.
most part.
Right.
So
And
when you don't know why it's happening and don't see the injury that happened,
right.
yeah, it gets a little worrisome with the Knicks.
And just mentioning Deuce, it just happened with Deuce, right? Deuce was out. We signed Spark. We trade for Spark. Right after that, because I think I texted you and I said maybe there's maybe there's more to Deuce than we think.
Yep.
Right after that, boom, the report comes out about Deuce. You know what I mean? I really hope not, because I want to see this full lineup. So I seriously hope there's it's nothing more than a bad toe right now. For OG, obviously a bad
what I
toe.
will say is,
it's hard to play on a hurt toe.
Yeah, it's like the detached toenail, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
What I will say is this though. We played some games without OG. We won some games without OG. His presence is probably still sorely felt and missed.
Mm-hmm.
But this might give us an opportunity for them not to rush him back. You know what I mean? Like he might could play through it for 2 games before. But if he could sit those 2 games, and you know what I mean, like let's let him sit those 2 games and kind of integrate.
Yeah.
What we got and see more Mo and all that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's get into some Losers Lounge stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll come back and talk some more Knicks stuff as we get into some Losers Lounge stuff. I do want to, before we get into that, Tony, you know what I mean? I just want to keep promoting the Die Hard Hour. You know what I'm saying? Which was on earlier today.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Every Thursday, right?
Every Thursday, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like clockwork. I think next Thursday he may not be doing it because he has, some family stuff to do. You know what I mean? But every Thursday, Die Hard Hour. I got to check it out. You know what I'm saying? And, the show is growing. It's growing, but, you know what I mean? It's going to continue to grow, and it's going to be dope. But we have an intro that we're looking for feedback on. Some of you guys might have heard it last night. I want feedback on it, right? Because we're still tweaking it. Before we actually put it out, the final product out, we're still tweaking it. You dig what I'm saying? So, I want your feedback. I want your honest feedback about this. I'm going to play it. And then I want you to tell me what you think about the intro, and then we'll get into some Losers Lounge stuff. Remember, this is not a new intro to NBK. This is a new intro to the Die Hard Hour, which comes on every Thursday at 9 o'clock. Okay.
With Eru.
With Eru from the Die Hard Knicks podcast. You know what I'm saying?
And this record is produced by Sim.
It's produced by me. It's rapped by the Lettuce. He was actually on the show tonight to talk about it a little bit. You know what I mean? This is still a draft, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, there's still a little bit of tweaking that has to be done, but we want your feedback. So check it out. Tell me what you think. All right. Just give me 1 second here. Let's go.
Dynamite!
Yeah. There's been a change of plans. Tighten up the clamps. We guarding the glass.
Hold on. Let me rewind that for a second. Made a little mistake. Here we go. We're going to get it going.
I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite?
Yeah. There's been a change of plans. Tighten up the clamps. We guarding the glass. I'm a Knickerbocker. We going man to man. No blood, no foul. Sturdy in the zone. I leave it all on the line. Die hard or go home. You see the body work. We shaking and baking. Was down by 20, but my spirit ain't breaking. Respect ain't automatic. You screaming out for the ref for a tech. I guard the garden. Steel block swatted. Bleed blue and orange. It's a die-hard thing, you know nothing about it. Live with the any star, 5-borough flavor. I made it rain, stole your cookies. See you later. Yeah, die hard. Yeah, die hard. Yeah, die hard. We ain't get these scars for nothing, we gon' die hard. Yeah, let us suck.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we played it that one time. Drop your feedback in the chat. We want to know what you think about that. All right, let me get to one more super chat right here. T2008J says, Sim and Tony, this is a great pickup. He could be a glue guy. He can't shoot worth a damn, but a good pickup. Thank you to Yabusele for waiving his $5.8 million player option. You know, hey, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but still, you know, what he does, we need it. You know what I mean? So far, you know, we got some T2008 says sounds dope. Marcus Miller says, I dig it. Thank you. Jay Davis says he likes it. Devin, I don't want to say the whole thing is low. Said it sounds like some heat. Jay Davis again said a Little Rock chemish. Okay. I like it. Anna Grill said I like it. We definitely we appreciate it. We got some tweaking to go. You know what I'm saying? But you will hear the final version on the Die Hard Knicks podcast when it's finally tweaked out. You hear the final version there. You know what I mean? So, you know, we just like feedback from people. See how you're feeling about it. Let's get into Philly. And then
we did Sim.
Oh, we did. We got in that ass last night. We did. You know what I'm saying? And you know, their podcast was heated as hell. They're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be. This is who we about to play? What's his name?
DJ Eastwood, running back Philly.
Running back Philly. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the whole.
And shout out to him.
Yeah, and shout out to him. Running back Philly.
Incontinence supplies and catheters, and if you're having trouble breathing, Bright Medical specializes in nebulizers.
Well, that's not what we was trying to play.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to bring that. That's not the one we was trying to play. He was going on with an advertisement. I was trying to get the one about Mitch. I don't know what happened. If I could find it, I'll get it back in there. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and just talk about Philly. Philly fans said, we honestly deserve this. F this organization. I'm sure Philly fans have got to be pissed off with everything that's going on with Philly. It's been going on for a while. You know what I'm saying? They got to be.
I think they're pissed off at this game. I think this season for them has probably been a bright spot. And I say that because everything you're saying, I think that held true after last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think coming into this season, they had no expectation. They had no, like, they didn't think Joel was gonna be Joel again.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't think this organization was doing the right thing, but they got a good rookie, which was probably a pleasant surprise for them. You know what I mean? I think he exceeded expectations for them.
That's true.
And then, Maxey is Maxey. They love him. Joel got to showcase that, hey, I may not be able to play all the time, but I could still be I could be a rep, you know what I mean? Like a replica of myself when I play. And then prior to the Paul George thing, you know what I mean? Like he was kind of solidifying their defense. He wasn't really the superstar that he once was. You couldn't really rely on him for like the 30-point explosions, but he was a staple for their defense. So I think they was having a better year than they expected. And you know what I mean? Like it wasn't all doom and gloom like previous year.
Right. Yeah. I guess it's like, what I want to say, like they just been middle of the pack for so long. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're never getting anywhere. They gotta feel like, we're just stuck in the mud.
I mean, here's what I will say. I think if they could get off Joel's contract, I think they wouldn't be mad. If they could say they have a starting point for a rebuild. You know what I mean? If that's the direction they go, I think they would, number one, they'll have to trade Daryl Morey. I think that's like a consensus amongst their fans. You know what I mean? They don't trust the organization for much, but they have a bright spot in Maxey. They have a bright spot in VJ. And you know what I mean? I'm sure they're happy about that.
Yeah. They gotta be. But
But it's tough because that whole trust the process, that whole, like, even when they hit, they missed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they had a lot of misses in the lottery, but even when they hit, red shirt year and be consistently injury prone. Red shirt year Ben Simmons. You know how that whole debacle ended with them. You know what I mean? Like, and these were all NBA, all stars, all that. So even when they hit, they missed.
Yeah. I mean, here you go. From picking Ben Simmons over Jaylen Brown, Markelle Fultz over Tatum, Joel's injuries. This has to be the worst ran team other than Sacramento. The difference is they stay competitive, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. They
like
just have
middle of the pack.
Yeah, they just stay in that middle of the pack, and they can't get past it. You know what I mean? Daryl Morey. I mean, you got people who are in support of the organization. It seems like this guy's, and he said, yeah, he picked Maxey and VJ, but Daryl Morey has no idea what he's doing. He's terrible. I think that's kind of like sarcastic, right? He's being sarcastic a little bit. That's what I think.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's literally saying,
you think so?
He hit on two.
But Daryl Morey didn't get the rest of these guys.
Huh?
But Daryl Morey didn't draft Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and all of them dudes.
He hasn't. That's true. He hasn't. But the moves that he's made, I don't think they you know what I mean? He signed Paul George. They feel like they gave away James Harden. A lot of people was like, well, why didn't you just trade Harden for George? We would have saved some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, we would have saved some money. Yeah. What else? The young rookie they just traded to OKC for cap relief.
Right.
McCain, who was another bright spot that Daryl Morey drafted. So now you're like, You know what I mean? Like,
And he could be
don't like
saying,
him.
yeah, he picked those two guys, but he basically has no idea. You know, it could be that. Probably is that. His fans, they want Nick Nurse fired. Some fans said, please fire Nick Nurse already.
He sounds shattered in a press conference after the game.
Yeah, it's and then, you know, honestly, as Sixers fans, we have to stop showing up for games. Please boycott this team. It's embarrassing. Sounds a lot like Knicks fans.
How many years ago is that?
Yeah, a lot of years ago. Sounds just like Knicks fans. Boycott.
Didn't they fire Phil Jackson? Something happened. It was like a planned boycott or a planned protest.
Something
at the Garden. And I think that's when they let Phil go or he resigned, however you're going to call it.
Yeah.
But something happened that kind of like stopped the boycott.
Right. Yeah. Kev said the Sixers handedly made them change the lottery rules. Yeah. But now other stuff is happening with draft picks and teams tanking and all of that. And we've been on the bad end of probably going to be two of them. The Dallas Mavericks did it, and now the Washington Wizards are doing it. Just the guy running back Philly. Here it is. This is what he said.
And the chats, we're losing by 30, and the fans are cheering for chicken nuggets. And Mitchell Robinson is hitting the free throws and laughing at the fans. The whole game wasn't embarrassing. And the chat.
Yeah. It was embarrassing for him, no doubt about that, man. It was embarrassing for him. Fans ain't happy with the 76ers, man. Not at all. But let's talk about this move some more, man. Elevated says Sochan is 100% an enforcer. He's gonna be Spurs. He was gonna be the Spurs enforcer. He got into it with Lou Dort, Amin, Vanderbilt, Jaden McDaniels, Markieff Morris. He's definitely about that life. Good. You know what I'm saying? Good. We need that.
We need. That's what we needed.
We need that. We need it to
Mr.
continue.
Element.
You know what I mean? We need it to continue. Nice moves by the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we didn't make the big move and blow the team up and do all of that. We made small moves around the edges, which is what we thought he was going to do. The Knicks were going to do. They made small moves around the edges, and it looks like we're ready for a stretch run. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I had to throw that up.
No doubt. Get those likes up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get them up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the likes up. If we got 85 watching, I think we got 90. We had 101. Get it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Please. We appreciate that. Anyway. Tony, I think I'm gonna call it a night.
Man, I know you got like a couple hours before you gotta hit the road. So.
Hit the road. I'm back in the air again, ladies and gentlemen. Got to get to the airport by 4:15. Catch the flight by 5. On the road again. You know what I mean? But hey, so is the life, bro. So is the life. That's what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. Saturday morning, I'm gonna be on with Still Knicks fans. He's having a all-star show or something like that.
Hey, Sim.
So I'm gonna be on there for a few minutes.
I made the all-star team too, man.
You gonna be there?
Man. I made the team, bro.
Let's do it. Let's do it. No doubt. So make sure you check us out Saturday morning, 11:30. I'll be on there. We're just gonna be talking. Oh yeah, let me get to Paris Douglas super chat. My bad, Paris. I remembered it, then I forgot it. Paris said to the new OKC NBA. I don't know what that is. WECL.
Welcome.
Welcome to the new OKC NBA. 11-man rotation basketball. Detroit now, Charlotte, Toronto, San Antonio. So Leon is doing the same thing with us now. More wings. Let's see if You know, Mike Brown still has to put these guys out there on the floor. Let's see if he's gonna. I don't know if he's going 11. I really don't. We'll see. You know what I mean? You know, when Spark came, he bumped Tyler out the rotation. We'll see what happens with Sochan if he bumps Mo out the rotation. I would hate to see it because Mo was coming such a long way, but yeah, I get it. Donald Cannon, thank you for the super chat. He says, Sim, remember years ago when we were losing, when we had a losing record and nobody wanted to come here. It feels so good and refreshing to see that people want to come. That's without a doubt. And it's also a well-run organization right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's also very important. It's a well-run organization.
I think Kyrie Irving and I think Kevin Durant.
Word.
Thank you guys.
Word.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
they
So glad.
They started this.
Word. So glad that we were not the popular team. Because
It made us build from scratch.
it made us build.
The ground up.
Made us build, and we built. You know what I mean? And we built. So, you know, we got, you know, it looks like we have a nice, deep, stacked squad. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do with it. Anyway, folks, I'm going to be up out of here. Tony, anything going on with you tomorrow? I'm going to be, I'm like done tomorrow for real. Like
I might do a late night show like 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
30 minutes. You know, I'm gonna try to fly solo again. So tune in, check in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
if I can, I will, but I'm gonna be done. My flight lands in DC at 6:30,
Same.
and then I get back on a flight at 6, but I won't get home until 11:30. It's gonna be a long
I'll see
day.
you at I'll see you at the All-Star show.
Yeah, no doubt. Most likely. It's gonna be a long day for me tomorrow. Anyway, folks, we up out of here. Appreciate your time, man. Peace.
This MBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.